Hello everyone not currently huddled up in a toilet paper fort with 2 packages of hand sanitizer and nothing to eat. My name's Omen Cross and welcome to today's episode of Crossin' and Waffles. Now, I really did not want to dedicate a whole episode to this. However, the stupidity of some people, the panic of some people, has led to a situation where I don't know, real life has been suspended until the beginning of next month or whatever. Some places they say it's like 8 weeks. Some places they say, you watch the hype, they're like, it could be a year. So no matter who you ask, there's an answer. Life is suspended for a little while. We're all just kind of forced to not know what's next. So we'll talk about it, much as I don't want to. But we're not going to do this alone. So let me welcome your Spiss and mine, Emma Cross, everybody.
Hello, everyone.
So, Spiss, life inside what I like to refer to as the chaos virus. Apparently, I'm not monetized, but apparently if you were monetized, you can't say the word without being demonetized. Not that I care. I've always kind of called it the chaos virus because that's what it instills in people and everything around us, it seems. What started as another version of a disease we've seen pop up before many times and dealt with it and made it go away. And yes, some people died, and yes, it was tragic, but we made it go away. Turned into preparations for the complete end of the world in the way I haven't seen since Y2K. I remember when my grandma used to stockpile canned food and toilet paper and paper towels and stuff in the basement of her house because Y2K was coming. And it was going to get her. It was going to shut down the internet. We had no choice but to stockpile. Then the next morning, everybody woke up and went, nothing happened.
Well, this is going to take a lot longer than the next day to get over.
Well, of course it's going to take more than a day. I mean, the stores aren't fully reset from all this madness yet. It's still not exactly easy to find the things you need thanks to people's panic and stupidity and overbuying and selfishness. Those are all separate things from separate people. Some people, it's just panic. They freak out, decide to get what they need while they can.
But that's just human nature. We're hardwired to do that.
Yeah, fight or flight.
We see somebody and we immediately, self-preservation kicks in. We got to do the same.
So there's those people. Then there's the people that went out and bought entire pallets of toilet paper when this first started, before the limits came into place and nobody could do that anymore. That bought it just because they're so ignorant they thought they'd never see toilet paper in the stores again. And so they bought 2 or 3 pallets of toilet paper.
But why toilet paper? Of all the necessities, why toilet paper?
Well, I mean, when you go to the store, there's always a few things that you need every single time. And in most households, toilet paper is one of those things. So then they started seeing everybody else buying toilet paper. And they all said to themselves, well, I better buy toilet paper now or there isn't going to be any. And they were right.
But if worse comes to worse, use a rag. You can at least wash that.
I'm not arguing that. Normal people that live in normal houses or apartments or whatever, your toilet is in the same room as your shower. If it's that desperate, why don't you get in and wash your ass while you're at it? Actually clean yourself instead of wasting toilet paper. Take a quick shower. It only takes a couple minutes. I was in the military. The shower only takes a couple minutes. Sometimes that's all you got. So take a shower, wash your ass off, clean it, disinfect it. It's actually healthier for you than just wiping it with your hand.
Yeah, but you're
and then hoping you don't touch yourself and spread anything else anywhere else before you get to the sink to wash your hands.
Well, I guess.
It's kind of disgusting. I'm not gonna lie, but you're talking about a situation where people, I've seen a meme where some dude was walking around with sweatpants on, whole ass crack blown out with shit.
That's just a meme. That's not reality.
It's gotta be reality for at least a couple of people somewhere.
True.
We live in the United States of America. If it's a meme, it's probably real somewhere.
Shit.
I swear, I've been looking to find fucking Knuckles ever since I started looking around this country. But I did find California.
No.
Yes, I did.
No, you're not bringing that up to stay on topic.
So anyway, our wonderful virus situation. It's simple, people. Simple stuff.
Wash your hands.
For most of you, you're in your own home around the people that you claim are the ones you want to be around anyway. So enjoy it for a minute. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, the whole might be laid off, might be out of work, things might be not be the same when it starts over again. It's all there. But you're not going to have an answer to that until things actually start again. Till then, we don't even know what the total death count of all this is going to be. We don't even know how many homeless people that don't have access to services now.
Well, the CDC said it has like a mortality rate of like 3%.
Yeah, but I'm not just talking about
even
those
that.
3%. I'm talking about now that the panic over all this has changed the way we live life in various ways that seem small until you look at it from the right perspective. Now there could be other lives lost just in people unable to take care of themselves during this time.
Those are unforeseen casualties.
They're not unforeseen unless you're stupid.
Well,
I mean, I'm sure Trump sees them as unforeseen casualties. Oh, we never knew people were going to lose money for a month and then, not be able to survive when we came back on and said, yeah, we're going to forgive that last month of rent because we have no choice. But what about all this here that you can't pay?
I don't know. I don't have an answer for that.
I don't think anybody really does, and that's what everybody's worried about. They're sitting around right now not worried about whether they're going to get sick or not. There's some people that are still panicking about that, but I'm pretty sure most people's panic about all that has died down and they've calmed down and figured out wash your hands is not hard. Take a shower is not hard. Don't panic buy like an idiot is not hard. Get the things you know you'll need for the next, say, couple of weeks to maybe a month at the longest, but that's only in the case of stuff that you really need.
Well, financial instability, it seems like it's going to be the major issue.
Well, yeah, because, I mean, look at our situation. Now, because of this, thanks to what that asshat did to me literally the weekend just before all this started, now there's no point to looking for work because everything worth having shut down.
Yeah,
the
all
only
the
places
events.
looking for work are the grocery stores. And hats off to all the people that have been out there working hard at the grocery stores and keeping
the
these
truckers.
shelves stocked.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. And them truckers out there pushing them supplies. You're the only reason why anybody has anything right now. So thanks to those people. I think we need more truck drivers in the world, or at least more corporations that realize that in situations like this, you need more supplies than you have. But I don't think, honestly, this whole thing, it works out in strange ways for everybody differently. Because no matter what level you're at, whether you're a Hollywood superstar that stars in everything and then ended up stranded in Australia until this shit blows over and he stops being sick, or you ended up a multi-billion-dollar-a-year wrestling company that had to cancel a show that hasn't been canceled ever, and try to move it to a place with no people there. A show that's all about the big stage and the big show and everybody coming to see it.
Things are just generally weird right now.
So there's something going on no matter what level of life you're at, but it's the people at the bottom, or let's say the last few tiers of people at the bottom there, that are the worst off in this particular scenario. In our personal standing, We haven't done the greatest, considering, as I said, no income, no money really to buy anything. Little things here and there, and that's about it. We did finally manage to find, which was a miracle for us, we found fuel, which hasn't been in stock since way before toilet paper and everything else went out of stock.
Yes, fuel. Because as long as we have fuel, we can clean ourselves, we can cook food, we'll be all right.
Yep, which
We
is
can get
important
through
in
it.
this situation. People in my situation, if you're stuck living in a vehicle or staying in a vehicle right now, they sell, I don't know, everybody has harder availability to get money, but the ones who can afford it, Walmart sells a little Coleman stove for like
Yes.
$20 that you can get that runs off these little 8-ounce cans of butane. The butane cans are only like $3 each, and they last for a good minute inside the stove to be used over
An hour
multiple days.
at max heat. But, you know, if you're smart, don't need to, you
You
know,
don't got to
you
run
know how
on
to
max
cook.
all the time. It ain't
Yeah, you
hard
know how
to
to
boil
cook.
water. You warm it up a little bit. It's boiling. You pour it into a bowl. You get a clean rag and some soap, and you clean yourself off. And it's not that complicated. And
Well,
if
if it is-
I/we can manage that in a car, then I'm pretty sure the rest of the world that's out there locked safely in their homes, hiding from the chaos virus right now, pretty sure you can do those same things with no problem. And make everybody around you do them too.
Yeah, and food banks, if you're really pressed for money, if you can, go to your local food banks. Look it up. Internet's not dead yet.
Yeah. They didn't shut the power off. The internet's not dead. Gas stations are still running. Unfortunately, at the gas stations, you can't get refills anymore, which hit us kind of hard in a way I wasn't expecting. I'm so used to just going to the gas station and getting a refill in my cup and getting a little tub of ice to keep things cold, and that's usually enough, and it doesn't bother me too much, and it's cheap. But unfortunately, since this started, there's no more taking your own container into anywhere.
Yeah,
There's no
it was
refills
weird.
around me, period. I don't know about where all of you live, but where I am, there's no more refills, period. You can't bring your own cup in. You can't bring your own ice container in. Nothing. So, in my case, not only does that mean I don't get my cheap cup of soda no more, but I don't get ice to keep things cold unless I go to the store and I buy a bag of ice.
Which is no problem, but it
Hell,
just
it's a problem when you're broke.
it just kind of threw things off.
Yeah, it's just another complication, another thing that the panic over this virus has caused, because it shouldn't be that complicated for people to fucking keep themselves clean and stay home and out of public when they're sick and not transfer disgusting things around to other people. I mean, I've done it for years. I live in a car. If I could pull it off in a car, you can pull it off in a house.
I agree, but you know, I don't know.
So,
I got no excuses.
I mean, and this isn't just a thing that we know for fact is affecting simply us. We've heard stories from people we know that have been telling us about how this is affecting them in their own lives. One of her friends told us this story about the state she lives in right now, and she can't find diapers.
Yeah,
So-
she's got a little 2-year-old and can't find diapers.
So, no diapers to put on the baby. Yeah, of course, I mean, there's workarounds, but this is what we're talking about. There was a workaround for all this. When the toilet paper thing started, get a little bit for yourself, have a couple rags on hand for emergencies, wash some of it off in the shower. There were always workarounds, but instead, we panicked and made it worse. Now, the canned food's off the shelves. They're fighting to keep stuff like milk on the shelves, and meats and things, breads and things that people need, like immediately food-wise. And the
It's-
long-term stuff's just taking forever to get back.
It's looking better, but you know,
But I mean, for some of y'all, that was a bad purchase, because I've worked at a few Walmarts personally, and I'll tell you straight up, not every single one of those things is fresh. And so a couple of y'all bought expired food off the back of that shelf because you were panicking. And I hope when you open up that 2-year-old can of beans or whatever, you remember that. And remember, I told you that. Anyways, the others, I mean, we've heard these stories, and it's just heartbreaking. There's actually people that are in the at-risk category for this disease that are forced into these kinds of situations where they don't have a proper supply of toilet paper, they don't have enough soap or sanitizer for themselves. I mean, everybody saw the one meme, but you actually know somebody who's in that age category, not in the greatest position, and still fighting to do her best to stay clean and do it right because she's smart enough to know what to do.
Luckily she's got a place to stay, but even still, I mean, she still had to go out and get toilet paper and almost had to fight people, and the only toilet paper that they had was like a $32 pack of toilet paper, and she can't afford that.
Oh yeah, because understand, people, that the good shit is what's coming back in the stores, the big good ones. And so those big good ones are expensive packs of toilet paper that they're selling you. Not quite as expensive as that guy I heard about in Tennessee. And this is the other thing about this crisis scenario, is these people who go selfish and decide, like this one guy in Tennessee that everybody, I'm sure, has either read the story or will hear the story about, who lived in a rural area where there's already a shortage of supplies, heard about this happening, and then went to the local stores and bought out their supplies of hand sanitizer and soap and Lysol and all this crap, put it in his garage, waited until everybody was panicking about there being an absence of things, and then started selling like little $3 bottles of hand sanitizer back to people for $20 each. And that asshole, I'm glad they caught him. I'm glad they punished him at least some. Because honestly, I can't understand why you would make that decision. Is we're all going to be in a bad way, so you're going to make it worse on everybody else to benefit yourself while people are getting sick and dying. I mean, I guess as an American, I will say there are a lot of our politicians that kind of tend to set that example. But that doesn't mean we as people should be following it. So, when we talk about this viral trend that we're all going through right now, our new explosive thing, we have to understand that, like all things, it passes. Because I go into the store every day because I don't have much money, and I only go after little things here and there. And every day I go in, I see different things coming back into stock. The fuel that was gone before the whole thing started is now starting to come back in. The toilet paper, though it's never going to have a full aisle for quite some time, is starting to at least come back in places to where you can get a hold of it. Stuff like sanitizer, all that, I'm sure it's going to come back in. Give it time. Be patient with life. Life is kind of on half a hold right now. But the stores are starting to restock. We're starting to see that there is light at the end of this tunnel, and life isn't going to just shut down. So, since we know this, that means the ones of us who don't fall away and die during this period of time, the ones who the unfortunate people who get sick, I'm not talking about them, but the ones like myself who may not financially, physically survive until the period of time when this whole crap ends and life goes back to normal, those people, I feel bad, but hopefully I'm in that category too.
Hopefully there won't be too many of those people.
So there is light for everybody that isn't gone once this ends. And that's why I'd ask all of you, remember your family and friends during this time. Take the time to call people, speak to them. She did it. Call and speak to the people you care about.
I didn't call everybody. I just called my Nana.
Well, you started the process at least.
I at least started the process. It's going to be a long trek through this.
So, I mean, communicate. Don't just stick inside your bubble, though. Enjoy the time you have in your bubble while you have it. Because once the doors open again, you're going to have to go back to the way life used to be. They may let you automate your job now and they may let your kids automate school right now, but it's not going to stay like that. I don't think most of you want it to stay like that. But eventually it's going to go back to semi-normal. That means all you're going to have to get up, go to work again, treat it like normal. And all the kids are going to have to get up, get used to going back to school in the morning again, like usual. So you got to live preparing to be ready for that day. Because the potency of your plan will only aid in how good it turns out. Because you have to decide not just necessarily whether you're going to go back to the same job once the doors open. You got to decide if you even want to be the same you that you were before you locked yourself up in the house.
Well, again, it goes back into, I don't think this was brought up, but reflection. Take time to reflect on things that you should be doing and make those changes necessary and be a better you.
Right.
Don't just let this be a negative experience. Turn it into something positive.
Yeah, like we were talking about in the last video. Don't forget to live. You know, when this ends, have a plan. A plan for something to do for yourself or those you care about or the world as a whole. Have a plan to do something other than just...
Don't get wrapped up in the daily grind again.
Or be stuck in the bubble that they're forced into now. I mean, you can get so used to being in a bubble by force that you stay there by choice. And once you stay there by choice, it takes nothing to keep you in there. I mean, we're all so, not us, but so many people are so terrified of all this that they're locked up in the houses. They've been told no gatherings over, I think what, the lowest is any kind, but I think the lowest number that they put on it was like 50 people. So you couldn't even have like, I don't know, you couldn't even have a good Pokemon Go stream right now. You couldn't even have a good, they can't do anything. They can't do anything. And all the people that were invested in doing those things are now out of them. And the people that were involved in doing them are just stuck waiting for this all to blow over. No matter what you're
But again, you shouldn't bitch about it. I mean, yeah, it fucking sucks, but...
Well, I only bitch about it because just like the refills at the gas station and everything else, the only reasons why this happened is because A, stupid people couldn't stay home when they were sick, and B, other stupid people couldn't quit panicking and doing dumb shit over what the first group of stupid people did.
Well, yeah, but again, I mean, it's alright to be upset and frustrated about it, but don't sit and dwell on it. You know, I get it.
Well, I'm
I
stuck.
mean, because I'm missing out on things too.
Miss out on fucking everything because of this shit. But anyway, again, we're angry now, but it's not going to last.
No, and it shouldn't.
This is a minor, temporary thing. The spring is coming. So much good is coming into the world.
Yeah, you can hear it in my voice. Allergies.
You know?
The joys of spring.
Things are going to get better. It's bad now, but for most people, things are going to get better.
Well, they don't always have to. I mean, I wouldn't want things to continue to get worse.
Well, I just want it to not happen again. I just want us to learn from this. Learn where our failings lied and learn where we can do better. Because a lot of this falls on our decisions based as people, based on our habits of taking everything we get from either the media that's on TV and stuff or the media that's on the phone and stuff, and basing our entire reality on what they want us to freak out about.
I agree.
Because yes, this is a problem, and yes, it needed controlled, but
Over media hype, and
it was everybody panicking about the thing that started the fucking toilet paper nonsense, and then it was them blowing up the toilet paper nonsense that turned that from something that happened in one city to something that happened in every city.
just went spiraling out of control.
And now fucking half the stuff people want is off the shelves. And you can't get anything. Baby wipes are gone, diapers are gone in some places, and everybody's just stuck. But when those doors fly back open, we need to make sure this doesn't happen again. And not in the way I've been hearing, oh, we should put more government control into our stores. No. Wrong. That's not the answer. The answer is putting more control in your head where it belongs. Because everybody should learn how to control themselves.
Yeah, basically taking responsibility for your actions.
It's what being an adult is supposed to be. At least that's what I was told when I was a kid. I don't know if kids today get told anything. I know a few do. You know, and I believe that people, Americans or whatever nation you're in that you're listening to this, I believe that we as people are capable of fixing this and making it so we never do it again.
Well, humans are capable of great things. We just gotta put our mind to it and set aside our petty differences and quit fighting and squabbling about dumb shit. I mean, for fuck's sake.
I mean, this started because we lived in a world where people could barely talk to their neighbor anymore. You remember that world from the TV, everybody? You remember that one? Where the neighbors talked and had dinner together at times and knew each other well enough.
Block parties.
Yeah, exactly. You remember all this? I'm sure you all watched it die with me. Because I watched it die as people stopped trusting everybody around them and stopped respecting everybody around them, and nobody talked anymore, and everybody just kind of gave each other fucked up looks, and that was about it. Now we're in a place where everybody's locked inside their own little world, which is what so many people were wishing for so long. Just make everybody go away, make everything stop. Are you happy now? You got what you wanted. You're locked alone. And now, just like all them good episodes of The Twilight Zone, you realize why you never wanted it in the first place.
Yeah.
You never wanted a world where you had to fight over toilet paper.
Fucking toilet paper.
I swear, as many things, as many shows as we have done, we went dumb on a level that even the TV shows could not have prepared for, because I have never seen an episode of The Twilight Zone called The War Over Toilet Paper.
Or any parody on The Simpsons or anything.
I'm sure it's on like Saturday Night Live now. If not, I'm sure they'll record it as soon as this shit ends. And I'm sure this is going to become more than just a meme. It's going to become a historical thing that has prevalence. And for that reason, we need to decide how we want that history to be written. Are we going to be written down as idiots who just repeated the same thing 4 or 5 years later? Or do we want to be the people that finally learn that maybe we shouldn't take all this stuff on our phones and on TV so seriously and just live life? Maybe it's finally time for us to just live life, take the information in that's going on from around us, and focus more on what we individually choose to let living life mean. Because I don't know how many days I got left. And in those days I got left, aside from recording these things right here so that I can speak my mind to whoever may or may not be listening out there, I spend my time thinking about what I would do if I could get out of this situation and live my life, actually live it by my choice. And it's a complicated thing. And it's a hard discussion to sit and actually have with yourself. Try it. Sit in the mirror. Pull up a little hand mirror. Look at yourself. Have a discussion with yourself about what you really want. Do it when nobody else is around. I don't need anybody else poking at you, talking shit about you, making fun of you for trying to think.
It's a good exercise.
Yeah, this is a good exercise to do by yourself. A little moment of self-reflection with the only person you should really sit there and be honest with.
Yourself.
Because you may lie and mask it to the whole rest of the world.
But you can't lie to yourself.
You gotta be honest with yourself. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's my hope that maybe someone who listened to this video will appreciate it for what it is. a way for people to think about their own future. And I hope that each and every one of you that's out there listening actually comes out of this okay, and your life brightens back up and you get back into the swing of things, and a year or two from now everything's just back to normal, back to life as it was.
Hopefully it gets back to normal in a few months.
I mean, that's my hope. All I can do right now is hope.
It's all we all can do is hope. Stay positive, stay calm, and listen to YouTube. Listen to this podcast. Listen to other people's podcasts.
Or like we said before, take up a hobby.
Yeah,
Learn to
take up a
stitch.
hobby.
Learn to sew. My grandma used to crochet as she sat around in a chair she couldn't get out of because of her Lou Gehrig's. Fucking take up a hobby.
Do something with
Do
yourself.
something with your life other than sit there and be depressed. And if you are sitting there being depressed, get up and fight back against that depression. Turn that depression into an angry strength that makes you want to go to war with the thing that's making you depressed.
No, don't do that, because
Yes, you can. I'm not saying use it to go hard on people. I'm saying use it to go against what's making you depressed, because if the thing that's making you depressed,
well, it's not, a lot of people, depression isn't like that. It's completely not what people believe it is.
yeah, I know, I have it.
So do I. And I'm sure a lot of people out there do.
Then the only thing you can do
You
in
just
those
have to
moments
learn-
is fight it.
You just have to learn to channel that energy into something else.
You know, fight back. Don't let that misery consume you, because the deeper you go into that well, the worse it's going to get. It don't get no brighter the deeper you go in there.
No, it doesn't. You have to fight back.
You know, sometimes I get so messed up that I just have to pull out my phone and play an emulator game. Stupid emulators, SNES, NES, old Sega games, you know, just something to distract me, take my mind off of it and into something else. You know, I don't have much in the way of personal hobbies because I tend to destroy too much with my hands. But I do play video games from time to time, and I do enjoy them. So, ladies and gentlemen, for the rest of the time you're locked up, do what you have to do. Not only to entertain yourselves, but take that time, at least at some point between now and when this ends, to do that bit of self-reflection and figure out who you want to be and what you want to do with that person after this is over. Have a talk with your families about what that means to all of you. Don't lie to people. Don't hide it from them no more. You want to come out better from the virus situation than you went in? Come out a different person. Come out somebody that's more respected, more trusted, more... I can't say more light, because people like all kinds of different things. And people hate me. So I can't tell you what people like. Only what's intelligent. And what's intelligent is coming out better people than we started. Virus or no virus. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen,
this has been Crossing and Waffles.
And thank you for crossing the spaces between.